Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for those very kind words of introduction. As you all heard, I'm just an ordinary Foreign Service bureaucrat. But I work for, and I will today speak on behalf of a government that, modestly put, is, I think, one of the more active and more progressive governments and countries in international development, cooperation, and politics. So I do that with a certain pride, and I think I have a platform from which I can speak. Thank you very much for inviting me. Gives me an opportunity to explain a little bit about the thinking of my government on how to work with NGOs and civil society. I want to make it very clear at the outset where we stand, not me personally, but the Norwegian government. Norway's foreign policy is, in broader terms, about taking care of and promoting national interests, contributing to a better world order, contributing to peace and reconciliation, democracy, human rights, and, of course, poverty eradication. For all these purposes, the Norwegian governments over the years have worked in partnership with Norwegian, international, and local NGO. We do this for a reason, of course, and the reasoning goes as follows. An active civil society constitutes an important driver and change force in society, as well as exerting control and contributing to accountability on the part of the governments. NGOs are not only social service providers, channels for funding, or implementing agencies. They are supposed to play an overall active and important role in social, political, and economic development of the society, and are thereby contributing to transparency, democracy, and human rights. So that's where we stand in our relationship with NGOs and civil society organizations. We expect NGOs to work with us on important global issues like poverty eradication, global governance, security, climate change, environment, not just as another vehicle to promote Norway's foreign policy, neither as channels for funding, but to provide new ideas, new perspectives, and being drivers for change. The Norwegian government works often with or through national and international NGOs. We have found that many NGOs can raise awareness and use their networks to promote important global objectives. Examples of this is our cooperation with, as it was just mentioned here, the international campaign to ban landmines in order to promote an international landmine convention, later known as the Ottawa Convention. That earned, by the way, the Nobel Peace Prize. We have also learned that NGOs can be important partners in our engagement policy, for instance, in conflict resolution processes, reconciliation processes, like in Guatemala, where the Norwegian Church Aid was a very active and instrumental partner, or in Burundi, where the South African NGO Accord has been a very, very valuable and important partner for Norway as other countries that are involved in that particular conflict. In addition to this, NGOs at various levels work with us in humanitarian and longer-term development processes to an increasing extent, like CARE does. Norwegian local and national NGOs channel even more of Norwegian ODA into developing countries, but in close keeping with their particular competence and competitive edge. And that is really the precondition for trying to partner with NGOs, not only, as I said, as a financial or a channel or a banker, but for their particular competence. Aid is only a limited part of our development policy in Norway. Other mechanisms are equally or more important, like trade, private sector development, and business relations. There is a need for global solutions to global problems that affect development, like climate change, violent conflict, and poverty. ODA is furthermore only a limited part of a total financial transfers to developing countries. international direct investments, income from extractive industries, which is often the case in developing countries, not the least here in Africa. Also curbing of corruption and economic crime are in total much more important aspects of the income situation of almost any country in the world, and in particular developing countries.